Penn State has done it again, James, and it is not a good thing they have done again. They once again cannot win the big one as they lose this weekend in upset fashion. They give UCLA their first victory of the 2025 season. Nico Amalivia got the job done on the ground and in the air. He looked pretty good, but James, that's not what this video is about.
No, not at all, man. Spence, you weren't lying, man. Penn State not just lose, yeah, you lose an emotional game to Oregon in the whiteout, no big deal. And then you go all the way to Southern Cal to an 0-4 team that has not led 1 second of the game. Remind Spence, UCLA played 4 games before Penn State and had not led 1 second of any game. Mind you, losses to New Mexico State, losses to UNLV, the whole nine. Group of 5 teams are beaten on UCLA, a Big Ten school. So that's already on the written walls for you. Spence, for UCLA to lead the whole entire game, to beat them 42-37. They basically beat them in front of a crowd of like 500 people, and the cops still wouldn't let UCLA storm the field. That's how bad of a loss this was. But I'll say it like this, Spence. What we witnessed from Penn State shows you that the college football playoff was a huge mistake. And I only say this why. When we had the 4-team playoff, guess whose record was always 10-2, 10-2, 10-2, 10-2? Penn State. And guess what? The complaining was, oh, if they could have got in, maybe they would have, a shot. And I remember telling you this a ways ago when they did the 12-team playoff. You basically gave James Franklin a freaking extension to live and die by the 10-2 record. And what it showed me, Spence, from the outside is that the college football playoff is a participation trophy. Basically, if you just win 10 games, find a way to, lessen up, easy up your schedule, like somewhat like Indiana, you can find a way to get in. Fine, cool, play those games. But it shows right now. And you know what's sad about this, Spence? And I was having an argument with some of my coworkers because they're Big Ten allies. I'm more SEC allies. Again, like when you have participation trophies for the college football, like it's one thing to have the playoff extended to 6, but when you go down to 12, you just water down the competition. Like, yeah, we can complain about a 9-3 SEC team is better than a 10-2 Big Ten team, but guess what? At the end of the day, none of that's going to matter. And I know there's going to be Big Ten people going to be like, well, a 6 seed won, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? If you didn't have the automatic conference champions as 1-5, maybe Ohio State would have been the 4 seed or the 3 seed just off of that. So, in all honesty, Spence, what I've seen from Penn State, someone's got to go. And, college football players don't leave now these days, it seems like. They stay for the NIL money. So maybe you got to get rid of Drew Aller somehow. But I told you.
I think he's going to. I still think he'll go to the draft no matter what. I still think
he better.
Despite how horrible he's been these past few weeks, I'm out on the guy. I came into the season with high hopes for him. He was probably a QB1 for me on the board. I'm not so high on him anymore. I still think he's got some tools there that I like, but we keep saying that with Drew Aller. Tools. He's just got the tools. He's just one of those guys. So he'll be a day 2 pick probably, second, third round. I think that's fair for Drew Aller. But can he win the big one? No. Not on the college level. Sometimes guys change like that and they win on the next level, and that could be how Drew Aller succeeds, but I don't see him succeeding at Penn State.
No.
And does he even have another year of eligibility?
Knowing college football with the COVID year, everyone got an extra year eligibility. I don't know where we gone wrong with this. But to my point, basically, you got to get rid of James Franklin. And a lot of people are going to be like, no, don't fire James Franklin. He's done so well for us. Okay, guess what? In college football, do we play to be well or do we play to be great? You look at Ohio State, no matter what, they're going to be great. Look at Michigan. They had a down year after their championship, but guess what? They're up in the ranks. Look at Oregon, a team they just lost to who just entered the Big Ten. Is going to be dominant with Dan Lanning, who we think is our best coach of the college football realm, But in all honesty, Spence, you know how sad it is to be James Franklin? Take out all the poor records against big teams. Spence, the interim head coach for UCLA, I don't even know his name. He has the same, if not more wins versus a top 10 Big Ten opponent than James Franklin. And mind you, the interim head coach has been coaching for 2 weeks. And he's got the same amount of wins as James Franklin. versus a Big Ten top 10 opponent. That you got to go.
Yeah. I'll say this, James. I know you're big on the fact that, and you said it again earlier, that James Franklin secured an extension whenever they expanded the playoff. But I think he burnt his get out of jail free card last year, making the playoff last year. Like, that was it. Like, okay, he made the playoff. Yes, we lost in embarrassing fashion again, but we made the playoff. That was it last year. I don't think, because of how bad they are at this point this year, I mean, they're not, I guess, out of the playoffs right now. I
No,
guess
technically not.
If they win out, they could get into the Big Ten championship, and I guess from there things could get interesting. But do we believe in this Penn State team to win out? Absolutely not. They got games against Indiana. They got a tough game against, I don't know.
You know what's sad? Hold on. Go through their schedule. You know what's crazy? Go through their schedule right now, and you know what's gonna be sad? It's gonna be the Indiana game. That's the one that's gonna bring them back to life, because we already criticized Indiana for cupcaking their schedule, X, Y, and Z, but they'll find a way to beat Indiana, and then they'll find a way. Who else they have on the schedule?
They have Northwestern, Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan State, Penn State, and Rutgers. This team's going 8-4.
Yeah, this team's going 8-4. We don't have to worry about it. But even if they did win out, let's just play hypothetical. They went out. They beat Ohio State. They beat Indiana. You know, right now,
that's good enough of a resume, I think, to get in the playoff.
It could be, but then who are we going to compare apples to? Are we going to compare maybe a 10-2 ACC team who didn't lose? It depends on how bad UCLA is going to finish out, because I look at their schedule. You lost an 0-4 team. You were a 25-point favorite, and you lost that game. Technically, your strength of schedule is 79th, and guess who's ahead of them at 78th? Could you guess? Recently new Division I Kennesaw State from last year. Like, mind you, their home field has like 200 fans in there. So their resume does not look good. I agree with you. I don't think they win out. Like, if they did, they probably would pick up some steam. But then again, that 0-4 loss to UCLA, depending on what UCLA does, really hurts them in the back. But I'll say it like this. Drew Aller, like you said, all the tools. Every year they say something about Penn State. It's like, oh, they got the best rocks. They probably have one of the best running back Tatums. You know, they got a defense, you know, that is pretty solid, except against Nico Amalivia. Besides that, they've been pretty solid. But in all honesty, Spence, it's not a mess, because I don't want to overreact like that. It's just, it's so mid that people get delusional with this whole process. Like, I don't understand. Spence, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not saying I'm this expert, but how did ESPN experts think that like teams like Penn State, Clemson, and even Texas, like, were going to be like the 1, 2, and 3 seed in all of this? Like, because what, Clemson and Penn State had returning quarterbacks, and supposedly Archman was supposed to be Jesus who part the sea. None of that's working out. Like, none of that is. And I don't know how everyone all on ESPN and Fox thought these three, because everyone was consistent with these three teams. And it's like, what did we see, Spence, from not just last year, but 2 years ago? And it's like, this is not Trevor Lawrence Clemson. This is, well, when's the last time Penn State really even been good? God, I can't even think of it. Like, I'm talking
when they had Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, man. Like, heck, they had Sean Clifford, who wasn't that good. They had God, I can't even think of his name.
I mean, last time, if we're being real, the last time they had a respectable team was when he who shall not be named was on their coaching staff.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Man. Oh, hey, man. At least he did the dirty work, man. He got the dubs.
Did he? Did he? Did he?
Who knows?
Did he?
Dang. But no, in all honesty, Spence, I will say this. No, floor right now, yeah, Penn State is going to go 8-4. I think their ceiling is 9-3, because I don't see them getting through Ohio State's defense. But the end all be all, like I said, if they were 10-2, I still wouldn't put Penn State in the playoffs, because you've seen what they can do when they play Power 4 teams. Oh, matter of fact, they still have not beaten a Power 4 team in like God knows when. It's been since December, I think, of last year. Like, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, tough times for Penn State, but we shall see. It's possible. Crazy things can happen in college football.
Crazy things happen.